572-0215. REV-UP St. Lucia, the alpha of radio.
Doctor in the House brought to you the compliments of La Place Salison, Jeannot Cooperative Credit Union and Tapia Hospital.
At Tapia Hospital, caring and competent obstetric consultants who will see you safely from prenatal care through delivery with a team of excellent pediatric and anesthetic support. Tapia Hospital, where the patient's safety comes first.
In the heart of St. Lucia, where mountains meet the sea, there's a story of resilience, community, and a promise kept for over 50 years. Jeannot Credit Union has been a pillar of support and a friend. Together, we've weathered storms and celebrated triumphs, from sponsoring local events to supporting education. Our motto, together we can move mountains, isn't just words. It's a commitment to unity, progress, and shared success. Feel the pride, the belonging, and the warmth of a financial partner that cares. Join us and be part of something extraordinary.
It's delicious.
La Place Salison is the true home of quality meat and deli products, selected and priced to suit every palate and pocket. We sell all cuts of meat, poultry and fish, from tasty lamb necks and succulent pork chops to lean dolphin and juicy top round steaks. Our deli items include turkey, ham, bacon, pork sausages, meat patties, chicken nuggets, deli ham and eggs, so that breakfast or that party is a breeze. And for your added convenience, we sell restaurant essentials and grocery items. So where's your next meal coming from? La Place Salison, of course. La Place Salison, Castries, Groselet, Beaufort, and Soufrière.
It's delicious.
It's now time for Doctor in the House live on REV-UP St. Lucia, hosted by Dr. Leonard Surage. Dr. Surage, a very good evening to you. Let me say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. All the best to you.
The last time we saw was before Christmas, right?
That's correct.
So, yeah. Well, listeners and viewers, welcome to Doctor in the House once more time, and first time for the new year, 6th of January 2026. And I hope that you all had a wonderful time, not engaging in excesses, and have a balanced holiday so far. Well, as you know, there has been fun from a long time ago. The whole thing started even during the campaigning. There was a lot of music, dancing, good time. That was followed by Christmas and then New Year. So you all have been having lots of fun, I must say. And now the seriousness of the New Year has come up to us. And as a result, I decided on this occasion, what I'm going to do is to talk a little bit about how to preserve your health and how to improve your health for the next year. You must have some kind of plan. From school days, I learned that if you fail to plan, then you have planned to fail.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing occurs without a proper planning. So let us talk about, before I get to the meat of the general things I want to say about how to preserve and protect your health and prevent things from happening to you. First of all, I would say, how many people do a resolution end of the year? Two important dates are in one's life: your birthday and the calendar year. And this is a cycle issue, and therefore you can use this opportunity to put checks and balances on your life. So to look at the end of a year and the beginning of a new one, you look and say, well, what could I have done better? Where did I drop the ball? What could I have done differently? How can I improve? What weaknesses do I have? Whether it is punctuality, whether it is communicating with people, whether it is returning a call on time. There are lots of little things that we tend to drop. And these calendar events, the birthday and end of the year, one should reflect on in what way you can improve it. Generally, the pros and cons of doing a resolution is that you may say, man, why do it when I'm not going to keep it? But by concentrating on it, by sitting and thinking about it, you can actually make it easier to at least keep one. If you have 5 resolutions and you can keep one, or even half of one, is better than not even thinking about it. Because when you think about something, this is the beginning of trying to make it happen. As I may have made reference to, there's a small book called As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. And this book talks about what you think and what occupies your mind sooner or later will become you. And so if you put in your head negative thoughts, condemning thoughts, very soon you'll be a very negative person. People will avoid you because you only see the negative side of things. But if you're somebody who see the cup is full and you always think of the positive, you try to see the good in people, then obviously more people will be attracted to your company.
Mm-hmm.
And so as a matter of fact, if you remember, when we were at school, they would give you do whatever work, maybe it's arithmetic work or whatever. They'll give you points based on how well you have done. So you got 6 out of 10, right? You get 6 points or whatever. But when I went to university, I saw one thing. The guy was marking you negatively. He give you 100. And as you make mistake, he take out from you. You end up with the same score. But at the same time, he was actually looking at your performance, and he gave you 100. And that's the difference. For example, I cannot help but drift into children upbringing. If you condemn the child, you make them feel useless, and you don't give them the benefit of the doubt, they will always be doubting themselves. But if you say, yes, I'm giving you 100, and as you mess, I take out from it, you find that the fact that you have given them that, they actually become feeling more important, and as a result, they perform better. So by giving somebody the benefit of the doubt and being very cognizant of where they can falter, and you mark them down based on what they have not done, it is an easier way than you condemning them and already giving them. So you start with 0. I'm going to give you nothing until you work for it.
Mm-hmm.
So the other way tend to produce more ambitious people in that way. So I think in our resolution we now have to look at how we can improve ourselves. And if we search ourselves hard enough, you will find areas where you can improve, whether it is with spouse, whether it is with family, whether it is whatever. But I believe there is a place for making your resolution and attempt to keep as many as you can, because thinking about it, bringing it back in the forefront is enough to keep it alive.
I think the reason we sort of use the word fail, I put fail in quotes, in sticking to the resolutions, because I think a lot of us make those resolutions. Generally, it involves effort in you almost like fighting yourself. And I think that is a real struggle for a lot of us, to fight something that has become part of your character, right? And to fight it, it involves a lot of rethinking and remodeling and reshaping and so on. It's a lot of hard work, Dr. Surage.
Well,
and that after a while you try, but there's something inside of you that keeps calling you back to this thing that you're trying to let go.
Right.
It's like you sort of miss it in a sort of weird way.
Well, if you were to interview, say, about 10 prominent business people, we're not even talking about educated people or those who have high degrees, etc. Business people, because anybody can get into business. And ask them about their life, how they started, how they begin to do things. You will find a thread in them that is common in terms of hard work, ambition, being focused, and when everybody's playing, they're working. When everybody is taking a break, they are working. When everybody is blowing their money on this and that, they are saving. They are different. And that measure of difference that separates us from walking through the path of least resistance, and the difference between that and chartering a course that will take you where you're going.
Let me just stick a pin there. Let me see if I can explain a little better. You're talking about somebody who is already wired a certain way, okay? Or maybe the person you're referring to probably had to do the changes. But let's just assume this is somebody who has already established a discipline of saving, right? And you have others who do not have that sort of discipline, where you get paid and you figure, man, I might as well just blow that, because when I look at what I can afford to save, it's just a few dollars. What the heck? Let me just enjoy that. Okay? And you have somebody, maybe from the time they're a young child, maybe mother, grandmother encouraged them to save. And they already developed that habit, okay, of saving. So, I'm talking about the person now who does not have that habit, who is not disciplined when it comes to saving. So, when that person now it's the end of the year, I say, okay, you know something? I realize I'm broke, man. I need to start saving. But you don't have that habit of being disciplined and sacrificing, because it involves sacrifice. You can't get away from that. All right? When everybody else is out there spending and so on, you see that the temptation to want to just go back and do it, right? You just fall right back into the thing. So after about 2 months, 3 months, you just go right back again and say, you know something, I'll later for that, right? So that's the person I'm talking about, the one who doesn't have that habit of doing a particular thing, which is good, and they have the habit of doing the thing that is bad. So look at the high rate of recidivism at the Border Correctional Facility. The authorities there constantly bemoan how many repeat offenders. Okay, they just come right back. I think that's what they're struggling with. This old person, this old individual that's somewhere in their psyche or whatever, right? And to let it go, right? To let it go, it's very, 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 very challenging. And that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's almost like an addiction.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And of course, there will always be a percentage that will not have the discipline to do it. Now, your question you're asking, well, how does one become disciplined?
Oh, good. Okay, exactly.
Yeah. One become disciplined when in your mind you have decided that you want certain things. And you want it bad enough, you'll make every effort to get it. Now, some people can want something and not wanting to put the effort to get it. So they will fall by the wayside. Now, if we have a support system where somebody is willing but lacks the drive, the ambition, this is where, and I keep on going back at it, this is where upbringing, parenting, counseling comes in. So from early o'clock, when you see these students are showing sign of lack of interest, lack of enthusiasm, you should by that time begin to pull them out and try to give them a better self-esteem and make them want to be something.
Let me just give you another little example. Okay? There's something called repentance. Okay? From a biblical perspective.
Yeah. Repentance.
You know how many people have to constantly repent of the same thing?
Or the same sins?
Yes. And imagine, the Bible talks about the Spirit of God residing in you to help you with the process. That's how difficult it is. And imagine, you supposedly have that Spirit which is helping you to change and to repent and to not go back to what you did before. Now imagine now you don't have that kind of power within you.
Yeah. Of discipline.
Yeah. So how do you get it?
How do you get that power? But you may say it is a power that resides within you. You say you can call it ambition, you can call it enthusiasm, you can call it drive, you can call it self-esteem, what you want to become. However you call it, it means that you are prepared to sacrifice something for something. And those people, and there will always be a category that will not want to do any such thing, would look for the easiest way in life, will only work for as much as they can earn enough to live. There'll be a large variety of people in this world. It has been said that if today we take all the wealth in St. Lucia, all the wealth, divide it equally among all the 185,000 people we have today, tomorrow morning some will be rich, some will be poor.
In other words, those that were already poor will get back to where they were.
Yeah, because the poverty is not only a poverty of money, a poverty of ambition, a poverty of drive. Not everybody you give a sum of money to get to do better, that they will use it and channel it into something progressive. They may just blow it. They may gamble it. So we have this proportion that exists as to those who are driven, those who are not driven, those who can be driven, and those who don't care. There will always be that percentage. Now, as to where this is derived, the social scientists should be able to tell us this kind of thing, because they go and study at university, come back, and they should be the one commenting to us on our social structure and how we can improve it to make more people dependable rather than dependent. Because as it stands now, we have high rate of unemployment, and people are not have no ambition. That is why some people who come to St. Lucia, regional people, they come to St. Lucia and they find jobs, they find things to do, they sell this, they bring this, and in no time they have big business. And we're looking at them and say, hey, boy, how these fellas get there? But it is, some people are driven more than others. We can say, well, the question you can ask me is, well, what makes some more driven than others? It's a combination of maybe their genetic makeup, as you mentioned earlier, maybe a small percentage, because we've always found that the environment overrides the genetics. So it can be genetics, it can be what the children hear in the house, how they have been treated, how close they are to people who are ambitious and driven. And they always tell you, if you want to be ambitious, hang around people who are ambitious. Don't hang around people who are negative, who are destructive, who are dishonest. Hang around good people.
Yes.
And so it could be a combination of all that. It could be a combination, it could be good schooling. Somebody got really impressed with a good teacher and they want to be like that teacher. And so there are many role models we can have. And we have to look for it. We have to expose our children to these people. And when you see them getting into bad habits, you correct them earlier. So the time you spend in nurturing your child is extremely important for later on in life. Even if they didn't give you a penny, but they have kept on the straight and narrow.
So these are the children, okay? And these are the products of a maybe a much more knowledgeable generation, because some parents realize where they went wrong, what happened to them, and now they say, okay, let me try to change that in the life of my children. I'll speak positivity. I will speak words of upliftment and encouragement, right? Okay, but I'm talking about those adults now who have never had that.
Well, those adults
and they look at their lives and they know they don't like where they are. They don't like where they are. But I mean, I know you want to move on, but where?
No. I mean,
No, when I say move on, I mean to give more information about the topic today. So what do you say to them? How do they get that strength? Is it that, as you said, maybe accountable to somebody or a counselor, or maybe a church? I don't know what.
There are many avenues, some of which already exist, some that can be created. But I think the infrastructure must be set up whereby you try to assist those who are seeking for attention or those who are seeking for help.
So when you talk about infrastructure, what do you really mean?
Oh, well, what I mean is the availability of counseling, the availability of people who can assist you in behavioral modification to modify the way you do things, even the way you approach people, because even in most of the hotels, it takes a lot of training. You would have thought that, we are St. Lucian, we are very nice people, we are very friendly. But when it comes to the service industry, we have a lot of work to do on the people to make them carry out that service. The etiquette, the mannerism, the tone of voice, the way you approach them. You may speak your ordinary language and foreigners might feel you are aggressive. And so whatever you do takes training. We're not born like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so all this training will come. A while ago you mentioned adult. If the adult recognize that there is some weakness in them, just like we were saying about the resolution, you look for your weaknesses and then you begin to work on it. If you cannot, then the fact that you have thought about it is the beginning of getting an answer, because you have actually brought it to your awareness. Because I remember one quote I heard long ago that said, a just appraisal, meaning a fair appraisal of one's ignorance is the beginning of wisdom. When you begin to look inside of you and look for where you are weak, then and only then you begin to get wise.
Mm-hmm.
And so the same thing. So the person you mentioned, the adult you referenced, as wanting to, knowing that they're not where they want to be,
that's right, mm-hmm.
etc., and do not know where to go, that is the beginning of where they can get something. Now they have to search, where can I get the avenue for me to be what I would like to be.
Mm-hmm. So do you think we have those avenues here?
Well, I don't think we are thinking about these things.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what we are. We are like planting bananas on the farm, and if it grows, it grows. If it didn't grow, it didn't grow. Well, some of them would have better genes than others,
yes,
and some of them will grow, and then you cultivate what it grows, and the rest you just say, well, they were meant to be like that. Maybe the devil was inside of them.
Yes. There's something important. You kind of touched on it a little while ago, but let's just go back there if you don't mind.
Yeah. Sure.
My friends and I were having a little discussion just last week, right? We're talking, and one of my friends said to another one, how is the day? How is your day, or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And the person said, okay, so far, right? So far. So my other friend said, don't say those kinds of things because that's kind of negative, right? In other words, you're saying, well, okay, well, you expect something bad to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of joined the conversation, and I was saying, yes, it's true. We must always try to be positive and don't sound like a woe is me kind of person 99% of the time. But Dr. Surage, I just need you to address that. When you really, really, really feel down and you feel bad and you feel hopeless at that particular point in time, and somebody says to you, how are you feeling, right? Because you don't want to say, as you said, you don't want them to know that you're going through a rough time, or you don't want to sound negative because that may manifest itself in your life. Shouldn't the person be able to be honest at that time and say how they're truly feeling? Without thinking that it's going to negatively impact me?
Okay. If somebody, there was one time somebody asked me, how are you doing? I said, look, if I was to tell you how I'm doing, you'd run.
Exactly.
But for cultural reason, I'm all right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the idea of, it's a question of motive. I would ask you, hey, how are you doing? I don't want to know your business. I don't want to hear the details of what happened. I just want a recognition that, hi, hello. And if we are alone and I feel the need to remove some of the steam from me or pressure, I would say, well, Andre, this thing happened to me yesterday and I'm really a little disturbed. I don't know how to handle that. And then you will open up to the person.
Right.
But sometimes the situation does not demand that or cannot accommodate that. And therefore you just give a quick, I'm okay, I'm all right.
Yeah.
And let it ride.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is a way to deal with it. But generally, I think that if you're close enough to the person, you can afford to be a little more open.
Mm-hmm. A little more vulnerable.
Yeah.
But the thinking is that if I say something that is negative, hey, I'm really feeling down, my girlfriend left me today or something like that.
Yeah.
And I found out she cheated on me. And you're being honest about it, but it's like some people think that when you say that, it's like you're bringing some more negativity into your life. Now, I in those times when you can be vulnerable, right?
Mm-hmm.
To me, I can understand that. But there's some people I know for sure in my life, some people, I mean, no matter how many times I speak with them for years and years, and it's the same thing. It's a this, a that, and the other. I'm there holding on, and I'm trying, and this kind of thing, right? So that's the one I think people get turned off.
Yeah, I think so. And I'll be turned off too. I mean, sometimes when you're in a brief conversation, you want to hear more lively thing.
Yes.
You don't want to hear the person's deep-seated issues, etc. There is a place and time to handle these things. But if you were to meet the person, say privately, say there's a party or the two of you all meet, and you tell him, well, how are you looking so down today? And then he or she will begin to explain to you on a one-to-one. You can understand that, but at the if people are exchanging greetings very freely and very openly, all these kind of negative things don't have to enter the equation. It will just make you a less conversational person, and they'll avoid you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think in communication there is a time and place for everything. And you have to, timing is all. You have to choose your timing properly, what you say to who you say it.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, if you don't really trust the person, there's a limit to what you can divulge in terms of your own personal thing.
Okay,
Right.
So we'll take a little break, Dr. Surage.
Okay.
And come back. When you come back, maybe you can give the numbers.
Yeah, sure.
And to have invite our listeners and viewers to join in the conversation. So this is the first Doctor in the House on REV-UP St. Lucia 95.9 FM for 2026, hosted by Dr. Leonard Surage. And the program is brought to you with the compliments of La Place Salaison, Jeanne Cooperative Credit Union, and Tapio Hospital.
Tapio Hospital Radiology Department offers 24-hour service. We provide you with X-ray, CT scans, and ultrasound imaging using the most modern equipment that produces the best images for your medical attention. Call the radiology unit at 459-2201. Tapio Hospital, where the patient safety comes first.
In the heart of St. Lucia, where mountains meet the sea, there's a story of resilience, community, and a promise kept for over 50 years. Jeanne Credit Union has been a pillar of support and a friend. Together, we've weathered storms and celebrated triumphs, from sponsoring local events to supporting education. Our motto, together we can move mountains, isn't just words. It's a commitment to unity, progress, and shared success. Feel the pride, the belonging, and the warmth of a financial partner that cares. Join us and be part of something extraordinary.
It's delicious.
La Place Salaison is the true home of quality meat and deli products, selected and priced to suit every palate and pocket. We sell all cuts of meat, poultry and fish, from tasty lamb necks and succulent pork chops to lean dolphin and juicy top round steaks. Our deli items include turkey, ham, bacon, pork sausages, meat patties, chicken nuggets, deli ham and eggs, so that breakfast or that party is a breeze. And for your added convenience, we sell restaurant essentials and grocery items. So where's your next meal coming from? La Place Salaison, of course. La Place Salaison, Castries, Groselet, Beaufort, and Soufrière.
It's delicious.
This is Doctor in the House live on REV-UP St. Lucia, hosted by Dr. Leonard Surage. Dr. Surage, is back to you.
Thank you once again, Andre, and thank you, listeners, for remaining on and listening. Now you can participate and contribute to our discussion. We had a very lively discussion. The number is 572-9710 or 287-0971. That's the WhatsApp number, 287-0971. So if you care to, you can give us a call, you can make a contribution, or you can add some spice into what we are saying.
Yes. If you disagree
Yeah.
or you agree.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, back to our last discussion. I wanted to actually make a little comment on it, and that is, we have positive people, we have negative people. In the same way, we say that you see a cup that is half, some people see it half empty, some see it half full.
Mm-hmm.
Some are more optimistic, some are less optimistic. Some of them see negatives all the way, and these people can be bad companion because they depress you, and they do not see the positivity in most things.
Mm-hmm.
And these I would say personality issues are quite wide range, and most of it stems from your perception of yourself, and you always see things being negative. You see gloom and doom in everything. On the other hand, there are these other positive people that you swear they never fail.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But they fail and they move on. And they always tell you the mark of a great person is not the falling down, it's picking up yourself and move again.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a lot to learn from failure as much as we have to learn from passing.
Do you think that there's some people who just, either through their own actions or this is what life kind of dealt to them? Because sometimes it's not your fault. You happen to be born from in a particular family, particular environment, and so on. And do you think it's, in some instances, it's probably almost impossible for some people to get out of that kind of negativity? That
I think most of them can get out.
Yeah?
But you need to seek the assistance of some professional people who can give you behavioral modification, who can show you how great you are. Remember, I must have told you about this guy, this student who wrote an exam, and he actually came to university doing very well and got scholarships, etc. So his first set of exam, he did well. So he was given a 3% percentile. 3 percentile. So he looked at that. The following term, he did poorly. The master called him, the headmaster said, look, you came from a good record and you're doing so well. Your first term you did so well. Why are you like that? He said, if I can only make 3%, how good am I? I'm not good, so that's why I'm like that.
Wow.
He said, no. The teacher said, no. 3 percentile means you're in the top 3. So in other words, you are 97 and up. When he heard that the second time again, 97 again, he started getting the high marks throughout again. It is his perception of himself. And once you have the negative perception, you just toe the line. You're not enthused.
In other words, you sort of accept your fate.
Predestination.
Yeah.
So you run on the ticket of predestination. It was meant to be.
Yes.
It was meant to happen.
I can't get out of the ghetto mentality, that sort of thing. I'm not saying that in a way to put the ghetto down. I'm just saying.
Yeah. And so some people will tell you, those who have moved on, maybe they have left the country. They would have probably been brought up from very challenging situation, went to school here, gone to States, England, saw opportunity and begin to do things. And now they would tell me that, look, I know my parents meant well when they brought me up, but they didn't bring me up for that kind of challenges I'm meeting. I told them, no parent bring up a child badly deliberately. The parent would do what they think is best, or they know to be the best. But sometime in life, as situation change, you have to raise yourself too. So you have to pick up from where parents left, and don't stop blaming parents, and begin to look at the situation you are faced and begin to raise yourself. Meaning that if you are aggressive, tone down. If you are easy to judge, cool off. Read, listen, and get your facts straight before you do anything. And generally, if you are condemning, be more circumspect about before you make a decision. So you teach yourself, you help to raise yourself.
That's the thing. Again, we go back to what we said at the beginning of the program, where we have to make that decision now to be better.
Yeah.
And this is where you have the rub, because it's like you're fighting against your own
self.
Yes.
And that fighting of your own self is your perception of where do I want to be? Is that what I really want? And can I put the effort to be something else?
There's an old buddy of mine. We used to go to school together, okay? And I was speaking with him probably about maybe 3 weeks ago, okay? I hadn't seen him in a while, and I know he's done fairly well in St. Lucia, right?
Yeah.
And so the last time I saw him, we had an opportunity now to sit and to talk. And I said to him, I remember you, right? We were in the same class, and to be honest with you, I didn't say that to him, I'm just saying that to you now and the listeners and the viewers. He, on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of his academic performance, I mean, with 10 being the best, right? He was probably a 1. It was really, really, really bad.
Okay.
Really, really, really bad. Now, I knew that about him. In fact, I think he probably left school. I think he probably got frustrated.
Okay.
So I hadn't seen him in a while. But he lives in St. Lucia. And so we're talking business. So I said to him, I remember you, and I know you remember me. So tell me, what happened, right? Well, how come you were able to have all what you have right now? And he said to me, he was so frustrated in where he was that he left St. Lucia. He went to another country, and he said he was working for somebody. And he said the work was really, really, really hard. And he said at the end of the day, he was looking at what he was making, and it was frustrating him even more. And he said, he told his wife at that time, he said, you know something, I cannot live like this. I cannot live like this. I have to do better than this. Otherwise, I'll die miserable. That kind of thing. And he made up his mind, and he said to me, he started with one little place that he was renting, and he started renting out that place, right, while he stayed at somebody's home. Okay, and he said he added another one to it. And another one. I mean, right now, the guy has a huge place in St. Lucia.
Great.
He's doing very, very, very well.
And I think these rags to riches stories are important to tell, because I think it has a lot of lesson. And I think generally we do not articulate enough of these situations where people who didn't have opportunity find ways through a variety of different mechanisms of bettering themselves. And when you see them many years after, you could not believe that this is the person you need who was struggling on the basics.
That is true.
And it's always, I have found it so interesting that that many people didn't think would have done well. 20 years afterwards,
yes,
you could not believe what they have achieved.
Even their teachers are shocked when they see them, because they know, as I said, academically, they were not.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so you must never lose faith in children. I say children because they're the one that you can actually see them grow. And because they can be so encouraging to see how well they progress, etc.
Now you have the flip side of that, huh? And I know of many of them where you have some people who I knew, young men, or my friends and so on, and say I saw them 40 years ago. Okay, so maybe I left St. Lucia, went overseas, which is what I did, and I came back, and I didn't really see them per se, because maybe they've moved to another area, another locale, and you don't really see them until about 40 years after. And you meet them, and they're in the same place.
They have not shifted.
That's the flip side of the story I just gave you. The same place, they haven't moved forward at all.
But how do you explain that one?
I think you explained it already. It's just that we just we as you said there, we accept. We think that this is our lot in life.
That's right.
And there's nothing much we can do.
And we accept
about it.
mediocrity. That's the thing.
Yeah. And again, it goes back to what we said earlier about making the decision now to do something, to make the changes, despite the fact that you feel you're fighting yourself. It's like going to the gym, for example, right? You know, the more people say, boy, they say, boy, go to the gym, boy.
Yeah.
I'll buy the treadmill and I'll do this and that and the other. Sometimes the treadmill, they're collecting endless cobwebs.
That's right. Very easy to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me just remind the listeners and the viewers, if you'd like to join in the conversation, the fixed line is 572-9710, 572-9710, or you can WhatsApp 287-0971. WhatsApp is 287-0971. Maybe you have your little story that you'd like to share with us. That'd be great.
That's good. Yeah. But I find that, again, you asked me about the system. What system do we have in place? And I think we should, by now, be looking at offering more counseling, not only at the school level, but at adolescent level. And at especially the vulnerable one are those who have left school and are unemployed. They can be brilliant, and the more brilliant they are, the more they get into problem, because they're innovative. They get bored easy. They want challenging things to do. And I think that we must be able to channel them into purposeful activity, whether in the form of national service, whatever, and many countries do it, whether it's the form of training for employment. And I think some of that do exist now. We do have the system in place, but if it was effective, why am I seeing so many people loitering around, doing nothing, and don't have a job? To me, there's something that is weak in that area, in the social sciences, etc., that I think need to be upgraded, and to be able to offer more service, more guidance, and more ambition. Teach them to be more driven, get them into purposeful activities, etc. There are many things that can be done.
Let me bring another aspect of our society into the equation. Religion. Okay, where you have certain pastors, leadership of certain churches and so on, who have certain members, and instead of encouraging them to go out there and work hard and so on, right, they tell them things like, and I hear it. Okay. So I want you to comment on that, if you don't mind. I hear them saying to the public, if you have a bill, to bring it in to pray on the bill. Okay? So in other words, you go there, and if you have maybe your mortgage hasn't been paid or something, or whatever, just come there with this receipt or something, and we'll pray on that to basically make the issue go away, or maybe make it get it resolved supernaturally. So do you think that this helps the society?
You talk about peddling faith.
That's what you call it?
Well, where you because faith is a faith-based kind of approach.
Yes.
Whereby you're saying that if I believe enough, it will happen. The only good thing about it is that if you believe something is going to happen and you work towards it, it will happen. But if it is just...
You use an interesting word. You work towards it.
That's it. Because you can have faith, and then no matter how much you pray on it, if you didn't make a démarche yourself, it's not going to happen. So the faith may be being used to encourage you to do something. And it's almost like having prayed on it, I think I have a better chance of getting an answer.
Do you think that's the message that's been, did you peddle there in those kinds of scenarios? Because I'm getting the impression as though, well, pray the problem away.
Yeah.
The problem will fix itself. God will deal with the issue for
but
you.
It's a matter of time before you see it does not work. Because if you didn't do anything else, somebody will not come crashing at you and give you $200 to pay your bills.
Do you think that could be a reason why a lot of people just even get frustrated with this whole issue of religion / spirituality? They just get so fed up, they say, but this thing's not working.
I think faith...
Or maybe it does, I don't know.
I think faith has been packaged in a manner that only the believers can identify with it. But for the discerning person who has an inquiring mind, it should take a different form, or you should be able to be more logical about it, because the science is coming and many things that we didn't understand before, we understand it. There was a time they thought that when you look in the sky and you see all the stars, these were holes in the sky, and the sun is behind it. But now we know these are stars or bodies that are floating in there. So I think that faith has a tremendous role to play in the life of people. But I think at the same time, people are questioning, and the authorities must come with far better convincing arguments in favor of what they're being preaching. And I think sometimes, not all the time, you can actually, people have the faith to just believe, because faith is believing without seeing, and science is believing what you can prove. So although they are diametrically opposite, but there is a common ground, and many of the saints who were saints before were actually working on that connection to bridge them, because you can always argue it's the same God that gave you an inquiring mind, that will make you want to discover things, want you to question things. He gave you the brain, and it is said that we don't use more than 10% of our true capacity. So all that brain he gave you, he don't want you to think.
Exactly.
So I think as the society,
and not just only to think, to act as well.
That's
because
right.
You have two hands.
And so I think that there's a lot of challenges that current religious bodies are facing, and I think they must find a way to be a little more, I would say, more convincing and explain more rationally, so that the inquiring mind can actually accept.
I remember there's this famous personality from St. Lucia, and he used to say, religion is for losers.
Religion is for losers.
For losers, yeah, because it gives you this impression that you could just sit back, relax, and these things will just come into your lap, instead of you going out there and hustling to make it happen.
So in that case, the religion should be sold by saying, well, if you try hard, God will help you. So the help will be there, but you have to make a little démarche for yourself.
Yes.
You can't just wait there quietly and just dependently just waiting for things to happen. That is a wrong understanding of it. God would have not given you all this
brain power, as you said earlier.
Nothing. Yeah. But I think it is true that a lot of people, you're going to see more and more people staying. They would start in their early years when their parents take them to church, but gradually they are moving away. When the time comes for them to be doing it on their own, they'll do it. Now when they get into their 60s, 70s, they go back again because death is getting near. And they want to be on God's good side.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
when death is becoming a reality. So I think, I believe that there's a lot of challenge that the religious leaders have, and they have to find a way of convincing people that they have a good product.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, one of the things I wanted to to talk about is, in terms of health and stuff like that, is the up to today. Saw somebody who is on a CPAP machine, has what we call obstructive sleep apnea, and they have put on some more weight since the last time I saw him. Put in a few more pounds, and telling me that the machine is not working because what the kind of effect he was getting, the kind of restfulness he was getting, he's not getting anymore. I discovered that he had indeed put in about 10, 12 more pounds. And so I told him, well, you'd have to lose some of that weight. And he said, but doc, that's my problem.
What's the problem?
Cannot lose the weight.
Okay, okay. Mm-hmm.
So that is why and he told me, I have looked for many ways of losing the weight. I don't really want to lose the weight through exercise alone, because exercise, if I cannot exercise, I get arthritis, I get older. What will happen? So I told him that you basically is some degree of behavioral modification, and there is something that is, I would not say new, but it's being more topical these days, and that is intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too sure if you're familiar with intermittent
Very familiar
fasting.
with it. But remember I said to you the last time, we know about intermittent fasting since we're kids.
Mm-hmm.
Remember I told you when we get home from school, you have your dinner, maybe 6,
Right, I remember.
7, probably the latest 7, right, most likely. And we don't eat anything after that until 8 o'clock the next morning before we
That's
go to
right.
school.
That's right.
So it's something that we've been doing without even realizing what we were doing at the time.
Yeah.
So I think most of us are very familiar with that sort of lifestyle.
Yeah.
Maybe not the kids right now. Maybe not the kids, but my generation.
So, but
Oh, by the way, a friend of mine told me she listened to the show we had when we were talking about the intermittent fasting. And she may be listening right now. She said she tried it and she said she lost a lot of weight.
okay, that's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was telling him that I think since I read on the subject, I got more explanation. The areas
The subject of intermittent fasting, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Would you like to share with us?
well, yeah, basically what I was saying, I don't know if I had said it before, that if you have to understand how the body deals with sugar, fat, etc. in a fasting state, when you're fasting. By fasting, you mean not taking in any calories, but you can drink water. If you eat now at, say, it's like 7 o'clock. If you eat now, 7 o'clock, the food that you eat, we are assuming a normal food, you're not taking a heavy top plate of food, you're eating your normal dinner. The sugar food generally have 3 types: fat, protein, sugar, or fat, protein, carbohydrates. Sugar is the same as carbohydrates. So inevitably, it all becomes, the cell of your body will only use sugar. So whichever one you have, whether it's fat or protein, it is changed to sugar and then given to the cells.
Sorry, I have to disturb you. I actually have a call.
Okay.
At this late stage.
At this late stage. All right.
As I say, better late than never.
Always welcome them. Hello.
Good evening, Andre. Good evening, Dr. Surage.
Good evening, sir. Good
sir.
evening.
Thank you very much for
And
calling.
I wish you a very good New Year.
Thanks for accepting my call.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Andre, I thought I was still in the season, Andre. I forgot completely.
That we won.
Today's the first one.
Yeah, Andre, I really forget that. Andre. Although you mentioned it this morning, but Andre,
Right, I did.
forgot, Dr.
I did. Yeah, but that's all right. That's all right.
Okay, Dr. Surage,
Yep.
I have a question for you. You are a nose, ears, and throat specialist.
Doctor. Yeah.
Okay, you as a doctor, if you have a problem with your throat, and I mean you might know what you have, as a throat specialist, do you go and see a next doctor, or you just take you write your prescription, or you go by your?
Okay.
That's a good one.
All of us have our doctors. If you have a mild sore throat, you might just take some Panadol or whatever, gargle some salt water. But if you need to see a doctor to look, say, in your throat where you cannot see, or in your ears or whatever, you must have a doctor. And all of us have a doctor we see. If you have to do a colonoscopy, you have your doctor who do it.
Okay.
So we have we have seen. In fact, your insurance form must show that a doctor has seen you. Yeah, so we do have our doctors. If you have small aches and pains, you can take over-the-counter medication like everybody else. Yep.
Oh, so it's across the board. Every doctor does that. I mean,
yeah.
Even if you are okay.
Yeah, because you cannot prescribe yourself any medication. For example, if you want antibiotics, you have to get a prescription, and you cannot say you prescribing to yourself. The Pharmacy Association is not legal or it's not proper, so we don't do that. Yep.
Oh,
fair enough.
I think he hung up.
Okay.
Or maybe the phone just cut off, because that's not normally how he
finishes.
Yes. He say good night.
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Surage. So getting back to the intermittent fasting.
Yeah. So the meal that you eat will provide you with sugar for about 4 hours, 5 hours, depending on how much. After which, you would have exhausted the sugar in your blood that runs your system, because the brain needs sugar, the heart is beating all the time, the breathing is happening all the time. You're using energy.
Sorry to disturb you. We actually have another call.
Hello.
Good night to you, Doc, and Happy New Year to you and to Andre.
You as well.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yes, sir. So does that mean that if a doctor is sick, he has to go to another doctor?
Yeah. He may know what's wrong with him, but he might want medication.
But
he might want a test.
Prescribe to his own self?
What's that?
He can't prescribe to his own self?
No, you cannot do that.
You serious?
No. You cannot prescribe to yourself.
I thought, he has a PhD, he has an MD, he has all the D's. But he cannot prescribe to himself.
But you cannot say exactly, especially if it is area where you cannot see, you cannot feel. The situation is that somebody must be objectively looking at you and taking care of you.
Okay.
As I said, if you have something that is mild, you can take ordinary medication or bush medication or whatever you're familiar with, a Panadol or this or that, medicine for diarrhea, whatever. You can. These are small stuff. But if you have a situation, say if you have like prostate cancer, you cannot say, well, let me treat my prostate, etc. No. Go to somebody who's qualified.
I thought because he was a doctor, he's a doctor. Doc, you sick, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You practically know the symptoms and everything that you have, because you've been you've been seeing so many people with those same symptoms, but you still have to go to another doctor?
Yeah, but if you need medication, you can't prescribe it for yourself.
So if you prescribe to yourself, what happens?
Well, what happened? For one thing, our ethical guidelines for us as doctors does not permit that. Secondly, the Pharmacy Association, a pharmacy council, who is looking at the proper prescribing pattern, etc., will not agree that the person who is requesting the medication is the person who have the medication. Because supposing you have addiction of some sort, you can prescribe to yourself until you kill yourself.
But
so you have...
That sounds funny, because...
It sounds funny to me.
You know about your body and and everything, the different medicines and you cannot prescribe to yourself. Wow.
No, you can't.
It's just like Andre being a DJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at his birthday, he wants to tell somebody what to play, and they tell him, and the other DJ tells him no. They play what they want.
Well, you're comparing mangoes and apples, eh? Because there is a lot of restriction in terms of prescription of drugs.
Yeah, yeah.
The dosage, the amount, etc.
I think I understand.
Yeah, and
so
there are some addictive drugs.
That you must see another doctor.
Yeah, you have to see another doctor.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. It makes sense. But I thought that because, being a doctor, that you could have prescribed to yourself.
Yeah, well, okay, you can be a lawyer and defend yourself. You can be an accountant and you can do your own accounts, etc. But I think the way the medical profession operates, the amount of checks and balances are more.
Yeah, it's really strict.
Yeah.
So that means that Andre cannot be a doctor.
Well, he can treat himself.
He might prescribe to other people. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And all the best for this year.
Thank you.
And Andre, to the station too, all the best, man.
Thank you, partner.
And Lady J, yeah, man.
Okay.
So are you a regular listener?
Yes, sir.
Yes, he is.
We go talk.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, later. Bye-bye.
By the way, what time do you officially close the bakery?
Sometimes anytime, Anytime.
Oh, all right.
Most times anytime. It's because of we have other things apart from the bread. We have like teas and drinks and stuff like that.
Okay.
So sometimes I just leave it open for a little while.
Okay.
Like
so a little while be like what, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the evening?
8 o'clock, yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy. Have a good night.
You too.
Take it easy. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye. And have a wonderful year. Thanks.
So yes, Dr. Surage.
Yeah.
The little time that we have left, we were talking about the all important
intermittent fasting.
Yes, all important.
So your meal can take you up to 4 hours, and afterwards, sugar is stored in the body, in the liver, in the muscle, in the form of glycogen. So it can be easily broken from glycogen to sugar. So the body attacks that one and use glycogen for sugar after the 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
That might go until about 6 hours. So make it 10 in all. And afterwards, the body would have repleted its glycogen supply, but the body still needs sugar for the brain and for all the other functions.
Mm-hmm.
So it then takes on fat. And that's the time you use to burn your fat. So those who fast for 16 hours, that last 6 hours, you are using fat. And that is where they say you begin to weigh down your fat.
Mm-hmm. Imagine it's like the body doing it for you.
Yeah, because the body needs the
energy.
Energy.
Yes.
Because
so it uses say instead of using the sugar you said,
there's no more sugar again.
Right.
Because you repleted the sugar.
Mm-hmm. And after how many hours that would happen?
About 10 hours.
No, I mean, after how many hours would you not have? Would it not be able to access the sugar?
The sugar, after 10 hours, you have to look for an alternative source of sugar, and then you turn to fat.
Oh, see, after about 10 hours.
Mm-hmm. So
wow.
4 hours, 4 hours for your meal, another 6 hours for stored glycogen. After, when these are depleted, finished, the body needs the sugar for its function, 2,000 calories a day, at least, for breathing, respiration, all the different things.
Yes.
And so it has to call on fat, mobilize fat from, and usually the mobilization starts with the belly. You see the pot belly thing? That is where and they are saying that the pot belly is a very active fat. So it starts from there. So unless you get to that 10 hours, you not begin to deal with that.
And Dr. Surage, you see where we have the problem, because as I said earlier, when we were at least my generation, that's how it was. And I guess to some degree, we're not wealthy. We couldn't afford, all the snacks and things. Well, sorry, we didn't have access to all those things. So we didn't have a choice but to have our dinner.
Slim.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we have our dinner. So, and I guess what was going on was just a natural thing. We had no idea that it was one way of us staying slim.
That's right.
And back in my day, we could count on one hand how many of our friends were a little overweight. The vast majority of us were slim.
And obesity is beginning to be almost like an index of prosperity.
Yes.
and that's causing a lot of other problems, etc. So the intermittent fasting, there are two formulas, either the 18-6 formula, meaning 18 hours of fasting, 6 hours of food, or the 16-8, 16 hours of fasting, 8 hours of food. And in that 8 hours, you can safely put in 2 meals in it. And they try to be, and then you decide on what kind of food you eat, and try not to have a lot of high calories, etc. When you're going to drink with your food, don't drink a sweet drink, drink water, the usual.
Yes.
Thing.
But again, because of the lifestyle, again, I'm Dr. Surage. We have our dinner at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, maybe for the latest, or even later than that, some people.
Yeah.
And then now, because of the way our lifestyle is right now, 10 o'clock, we're still there munching on something. 11 o'clock, we're still there munching.
And there's something called stress eating. Those people who are highly stressed, they come home, have their dinner 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and they go to bed about 10, 11. But before that, they want to snack on something. As if they have not relaxed yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So all this behavioral modification, because the fat is so hard to take out, so that it's better not to get into the habit of putting it on.
So it goes back to what we were saying at the beginning of the program again, right? In order now to lose that weight that we're talking about, especially the visceral fat, which you said is an active kind of fat, right? And the body now will get the energy from the fat there. We now have to try to stop the habits you just mentioned there.
That's right.
About the late night snacking and things like that.
Right.
So it's tough.
It is.
It gets tough.
Discipline. For somebody to remain as fit as you are, you're not telling people what you do, but I know you go to the gym, I know you're conscientious about what you eat, etc. So it does not come by just doing any old thing.
That's true. That's true.
But one of my mantra is, adopt good habits and make them your master.
Repeat that.
Adopt good habits and make them your master. So if you do that, you don't have to struggle every time to do good things. It just comes naturally.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I just want to repeat that there was a particular lady who was listening to the program when you spoke about the intermittent fasting, and she said she tried it and it worked. Now she said her work schedule had changed, so it's kind of interfered with what she was doing, and she said she put back the weight. So now she says she's going to go back to it.
She knows how to get back there. But one last thing I want to say before I leave is that the worst that can happen to you in one's habit is to come home tired, hungry, and late. You can come home tired because you're working. You can come home late because you have late nights. But to come home hungry at that time, you must make alternative arrangement to eat before you come home.
Yes.
So that you're not desperately hungry, because after you eat, you're going to fall asleep.
And you know, those people who are trying to lose the weight and stuff, and you have a partner, right? Here you are trying to avoid the late night snacking, and you have a partner next to you who was munching away, crack.
And why life is so unfair to you?
You say tomorrow, I'll do tomorrow. Give me some.
Yeah. And you pretend nobody have to see you eating.
Yeah, exactly.
You show up somewhere. All right,
Dr. Surage.
So I think we are nearing we have passed.
That's right.
Time. So listeners, thank you very much for listening and participating in the program. We enjoyed very much. And I would like to say for listeners further that I wish you all the best in the new year, 2026. And I want you to exercise moderation in everything that you do. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Surage. I'm looking forward to seeing you next week, Tuesday, God willing.
Okay.
All right. You've been listening to and also viewing on Facebook, YouTube, and also on X, a live program with Dr. Leonard Surage called Doctor in the House, heard and seen on REV-UP St. Lucia 95.9 FM every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And Doctor in the House is brought to you with the compliments of La Place Salaison, Jeannot Cooperative Credit Union, and Tapio Hospital.
At Tapio Hospital, we operate a 24-hour emergency service for all your urgent healthcare needs. Our qualified medical specialist will be on hand to ensure that you receive the best of care. Call us at 459-2617. Tapio Hospital, where the patient safety comes first.
In the heart of St. Lucia, where mountains meet the sea, there's a story of resilience, community, and a promise kept for over 50 years. Jana Credit Union has been a pillar of support and a friend. Together, we've weathered storms and celebrated triumphs, from sponsoring local events to supporting education. Our motto, "Together, we can move mountains," isn't just words. It's a commitment to unity, progress, and shared success. Feel the pride, the belonging, and the warmth of a financial partner that cares. Join us and be part of something extraordinary.
It's delicious.
La Plaza Salazar is the true home of quality meat and deli products, selected and priced to suit every palate and pocket. We sell all cuts of meat, poultry and fish, from tasty lamb necks and succulent pork chops to lean dolphin and juicy top round steaks. Our deli items include turkey, ham, bacon, pork sausages, meat patties, chicken nuggets, deli ham and eggs, so that breakfast or that party is a breeze. And for your added convenience, we sell restaurant essentials and grocery items. So where's your next meal coming from? La Plaza Salazar, of course. La Plaza Salazar, Castries, Groselet, Beaufort, and Soufriere.
It's delicious.
REV-UP St. Lucia is located at Unit 4, Gablewoods Mall, Sunny Acres, Gas-Free St. Lucia. Tune in on 95.9 FM or online at REVUPSLU.com. Call the studio at 5